Tonight we begin a new feature here on KXLY4, a chance to hear your questions about how the world works and bring you along as we find out the answers.
Well, this first installment brings back a story that dominated our lives last fall, the swine flu pandemic. It was expected to kill millions, and the CDC even predicted 40% of the population would be infected.
But we don't hear about it anymore. Tonight, you've asked what happened to the swine flu, and KXLY4's Melissa Luck says, good question.
Here in the newsroom, we have done a ton of stories about the swine flu since the outbreak began last year. This is our news archive system. I just want to see how many swine flu stories we did here at KXLY in 2009. There's your answer, 1,733 swine flu stories last year. We're only a couple of months into 2010 so far, but the CDC says the swine flu is still very much a reality. But we did the same search for swine flu stories this year, just 5 swine flu stories.
Remember when you couldn't turn on the TV without hearing us talk about the swine flu?
Swine flu.
Swine flu.
I know, it's been a while, before Christmas, even before Thanksgiving. In fact, all the way back to April. But who could forget when the swine flu fears had people lined up for hours outside the Spokane Arena?
You're over 25, you need to have an underlying condition.
Desperate for the few swine flu shots available. Now,
It seems like no one's talking about it anymore. What do you think about that?
That's weird.
It seems like a lot of people have stopped talking about it. Do you think it's the threat's gone? Do you think people aren't thinking about it? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say the threat's probably down a little bit.
but is it really true?
So tell me what we've got here.
Okay, so this is where we have the vaccine for the health district. We have probably between 3,500 and 4,000 doses in here.
Danielle Klein tracks vaccine for the health district. She remembers when the demand was so high, these fridges were empty.
You'd get the nasal spray vaccine sooner.
Phones were ringing off the hook for people desperate for a shot in the arm. She went from intern to full-time employee because of the swine flu.
It was really busy. Yeah.
And what's it like now? Slow?
Kind of.
The numbers prove that. Today, no states report widespread flu activity. 57 million cases have been reported since April, but in Washington and Idaho right now, flu cases are only sporadic.
Is it a surprise to you that it's declined so much so quickly?
No, it's typical when you have a pandemic to have a peak and then a rapid decrease in the number of cases.
So we're definitely seeing that decrease, but believe it or not, there are still a handful of cases out there, and plenty of vaccine available if you want it. If this vaccine is not used by midsummer, the health district will destroy it, and it will be used in next year's seasonal flu vaccine. Until then,
Keep your hands clean still and use sanitizer and you'll be all right.
with this good question, I'm Melissa Luck, KXLY4 HD News.
But we want to hear your questions. What do you want to know about the world and how it works? No subject is off limits, and you could see your question answered on the air. Just send us your questions to goodquestion@kxly.com. You can read more about the segment right now on kxly.com.